Good morning. I'm Barbara Fanson, and I wrote the story Robin Sees a Monster, and I took all the photographs inside. Let's get started. I had to stand on a ladder in order to take photographs of the nest that was on top of this hydro box. Robin had just returned home from her vacation down south. She knew she had to make a nest. Robin carried some dry weeds to the top of a hydro box on the side of a house. Robin had a nest there last year, and she liked the neighborhood. There was plenty of food for her and her babies, dry weeds to make a nest, and mud to hold the nest together. The wind blew and a weed fell to the ground. Robin flew down, picked up the weed in her beak, and flew it back to the hydro box. Robin knew she had to work quickly that day. Robin found a puddle nearby with wet, gooey mud. She added some mud to hold the weeds together. Robin built a nest in one day. The very next day, Robin laid a light blue egg in the nest. It was robin egg blue. Robin laid another blue egg, and then another and another, and then there were 4. Robins usually lay 3, 4, or 5 eggs per nesting. They may have up to 3 clutches or batches per year. Can you count the eggs? For 14 days, Robin sat on the eggs to keep them warm. One day, a monster appeared holding a gadget. She pointed it right at Robin. Robin stared at the monster. She tweeted loudly, and finally the monster left. One day, Robin heard a sound, the sound of an egg hatching. She got up to see a small hole in one egg. The baby bird inside kept pecking at the eggshell to get it to open. Can you see the hole in the eggshell? The egg broke, and the baby bird crawled out, exhausted. The baby bird's eyes were closed, and it had no feathers. Each of the eggs hatched, and a baby robin crawled out. After the eggs hatched, Robin picked up the eggshells in her beak and flew over to a nearby park. She dropped the shells in the middle of the grass field, far away from any trees, so that if a cat or a raccoon smelled the shells, it would not find her nest. The monster returned with the gadget in her hands and aimed it at Robin. The monster shot the robin with the gadget. "Go away," she tweeted. "Get away from my babies," tweeted Robin as she flew at the head of the monster. Finally, the monster left. The next day, the monster came back wearing a robin deflector noggin protector. She aimed the gadget at Robin, who was sitting on a roof near the nest. "Go away," tweeted the mama bird. Robin tweeted several times to distract the monster, but the monster did not move. Robin dove at the monster, but hit the robin deflector noggin protector. It was hard, but finally the monster left. Robin checked her baby birds, which are also called chicks. They were fine. The baby robins still have their eyes closed, but they could eat the food that Robin brought. The male and female robin take turns bringing grubs, worms, caterpillars, insects, and fruit to the baby chicks. Robins have very good eyesight, and they can see if the ground is moving slightly. If an earthworm is near the surface, a robin will scoop him out right away. When a robin approaches, the baby chicks open their beaks. Robin places the food into their mouths. Notice there's a date at the bottom of each page. That's the day the picture was taken. The baby chicks are now 6 days old and starting to look like robins. Soft feathers have started to grow on the chicks. Robin spotted a cat eating grass nearby. The cat heard a peep. He looked up to see where the sound was coming from. It sounds like a baby bird. A delicious baby bird. The black cat crept towards the nest. Robin saw the cat coming and tweeted to distract him. Robin attacked the black cat with her feet and tweeted loudly. The cat ran away. Robin flew back to the nest to check her babies. She knew they were not safe and should learn to fly soon. The baby chicks have their eyes open now, and it's May the 21st. The baby robins are now 8 days old. They usually fly away from the nest when they're about 14 days old. Robin continued to bring insects and worms to the young birds. The baby robins are now 10 days old. The 4 birds have grown quickly and are getting crowded in the nest. The wings on the young birds are growing, and they have more feathers. Notice the white bird droppings on the wall and the nest? The next day, one young bird flew down to the fence. He is 14 days old. When baby chicks have feathers and they're ready to fly, they are called fledglings. Another fledgling flew to the wood rail on the deck. He will stay near the nest until he grows tail feathers and is strong enough to fly. Robin has more food for her babies, but she found the young birds had already flown the coop. At the back of the book, there is some questions and answers, and then there's also a review. On May the 12th, the first egg hatched. On May 15th, the birds are 3 days old. May 16th, they're 4 days old. May 20th, they're 8 days old. May 23rd, they're 11 days old. And on May 26th, they're 14 days old. This abandoned robin nest has mud and twigs on the outside, and then there's like a layer of finer grasses on the inside. It's beautifully crafted by a robin. And this is an old robin's egg, which is blue. I also added this small speckled egg that I found. I believe it belongs to a song sparrow. Do you remember what a baby robin is called? Chick. When a chick is ready to fly, it's called a fledgling. Have you seen a robin sitting on the ground? If a robin invited you to lunch, would you go? Can you name one thing that a robin eats? Worms, grubs, insects, caterpillars, and some fruit like small berries. A villain is the bad guy in a story. There were 2 villains in this story. Do you remember who they were? That pesky photographer who kept putting a gadget in her face, and also the black cat, which happens to be my cat named Muffin. I'm always amazed by the nests that robins make. With just their beak, they can add mud and mold the weeds together. If you enjoyed this book, Robin Sees a Monster, it is available at Fanson.Net or Amazon, in hardcover or softcover.